the way, and we're being recorded. Good, thank you. At tonight's meeting, the public is all muted right now. When you have an opportunity or want to make a statement or question, there's a way to raise your hand at the bottom of the screen. I'm not sure, I think. Anyway, or if you're on video, we can see you raise your hand. Otherwise, the public will be muted. Only the board members will be unmuted to have discussions and talk, unless it's someone's turn. Can we do a roll call, please?
Okay, I will do the roll call here. Larry Bender,
Present.
Sue Morgan-Thaler,
Present.
Robin, are you here? Robin's here. I see her. Okay, Lindy Owen is not here yet, and Julie Tacker is not here yet. I think that completes it.
Okay. As making the chairperson's announcement, one, I'd like to, everyone knows her, Sue Morgenthaler is now going to be a public member on the Land Use Committee. And we'll probably be having another council member joining Land Use, but I don't see them here, so I'm not going to announce it. Any committee members, any announcements or things they want to say before we get to our agenda items?
I do not.
No comment. I see Dave Dowse has his hand up waving something. Can we unmute him for a minute just to answer his question? Is it working, Patrick or Sue or somebody help me with this?
I'm asking him to unmute.
Yeah,
Oh, there he is.
I'm not a Zoom guy, so I just was doing what I thought I was supposed to do. I have nothing to say at this time.
Okay, so we're gonna mute you again, but good. Welcome to the club. We're all learning this, you know. Appreciate it. Okay, public comment for items not on the agenda. Either send up smoke signals or wave your hand. I see Jeff Edwards has his hand up.
Hey, Larry, it's Julie. I'm having trouble getting in on my computer and the phone. I don't know if someone is not seeing my phone number coming through. So that was all I wanted to say. I am here, but I'm not able to let you know that through my own portal, so to speak.
Julie, I see a phone number 545.
No, that's
No.
not me.
That's not you. Okay.
I'm gonna keep trying, but I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for letting us know.
Julie, are you going to be on on Jeff Edwards' line right now? Are you going to stay here?
I may come back to it. I am trying to get on my own computer.
Okay, well, let us know and we can unmute you then.
Oh, all right. Well, I can. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So any comments or things from the public that's not on the agenda? Nope. Okay, next approval of the minutes from our June meeting. We didn't have a meeting in July because of the holiday, but we did have minutes from June. Anyone like to make a motion for approval or?
I'll make an emotion that we accept the minutes from last meeting.
Okay, I'll second that. All in favor? Raise your hand. Okay, I'll take that as unanimous. Minutes are approved. And then going to the first item of the agenda, Los Osos Valley Nursery. I saw Hope there. Hi, Hope. Can we unmute Hope? So she'll be able to talk. What the project is cleaning up some land area and separating organics from non-organics. Taking the organics trash stuff and getting it hauled away, and then mixing the organic stuff up in the soil to, I guess, recompost it, instead of wasting it, make the soil better with it. I was over at the site and saw it, very impressed. Hope and Hope, I keep forgetting what's his name, who's representing you.
Rye,
Rye?
Rye.
Is he here?
He should
Oh,
be
there he
here.
is.
Yeah, he should be here.
Can we unmute Rye Siphon?
Siphon.
There he is. Okay, so if you guys would like to make a quick presentation, describe what your project is.
I can't see Rye yet, but basically that is,
He's there.
okay, basically that is it, that we were just trying to, I need the ground level for me to be able to run my tractor and mow and keep the veldt grass down. And a couple of years ago with the, but the Broderson brought water in and almost flooded the house. So we made little swales. So I'm just trying to get it flat, get all the debris from the years of stuff that's here. We decided the least expensive way to do that would be to make a hugelkultur, hold some of the moisture so we could have water stay on the property and clean it up. And that basically is the whole project.
Okay. And
I can have Rye go into more detail, but
Yeah.
basically that's it.
Okay. Are there any questions from members of the council about this project?
Can we ask Rye to explain it, Larry, a little bit more in detail, how they're going about doing all this stuff? Is that possible? Before we ask
Sure.
questions? Thanks.
Rye, we have to unmute you. Right now you're muted. There we
Okay.
go. Yeah, I can hear you now.
So the scope of the project really was digging up a bunch of trash and organics and non-organics mixed together, moving the soil aside, sifting it out, and then removing the trash from the site and putting the dirt all back where it was in the first place. There's no import, there's no export, there's no retaining, there's no slopes. That's it. It's the removal of the trash and the recomposting of the compostable materials. Any questions?
I do.
Patrick?
So is this, are you basically making a compost pile?
Well, I don't think you could call it a compost pile so much as there were organic materials mixed in with the trash, and those organics were mixed back into the soil and then layered in. Hope can speak better to this than I can.
Okay.
So I wanted to make sure that the way that we were layering in, like we had all this debris, and I just wanted to make it more of a hugelkultur where we were actually retaining some of that, like the tree matter and that, to make so that our ground would hold water, or later if we wanted to plant pumpkins, that we could plant pumpkins or plant something that would have moisture holding, beef up some of the bacteria in the soil to make it nice and to be able to grow things.
Okay.
We don't plan on doing anything,
So
building a
this-
house or something like that.
Yeah, it's not a compost pile that you're continually turning and watering and that
No.
kind of thing.
No,
Okay.
it would be like a single, you make a compost pile, you go on to the next area
Gotcha.
and you just make all the soil better.
Okay. Very nice.
Any other questions from members of the committee? Robin?
I think Julie, is that you, Julie Tacker?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I was just going through the referral package and it doesn't say what the water source is for the property or the sewage source, sewage services. Just some incomplete information on the application referral. So I wonder if you could.
There is no water source. There's no need for water on that side.
No, your property. What is the water to your property? That's just a standard question that they ask for all applications.
It has
What-
nothing to do with this project.
I'm not familiar with the county having asked us that question at all.
It's
I
on,
filled out
it's
all-
on the
It's not
application.
on,
It's on every MUP and coastal development
We were
permit.
not
application.
asked that.
I'm sorry, we didn't fill out a coastal development permit. We filled out a
You-
grading permit.
You have an application that was referred to us, and it has a box that you check whether you have community water or a well or and it asks which service provider you have.
Hope, what service provider do you have?
Golden State Water and well
Okay.
water.
And well water?
Yeah.
Well water.
Okay, that was the question. Just you didn't fill out the whole form.
Well, I apologize for missing that checkbox.
And then your sewage disposal?
Is septic.
Okay, thank you.
Where that has, right, it's not
mean-
anything to do with the project we're doing right now.
It's the property, that's all, Mrs. Lindsay. It just asks questions about the property.
Okay.
Larry?
Do I see your hands up?
Yeah, I think April, the project manager, has something she'd like to say. Can we unmute her and let her speak? There
Sure.
Okay, more the merrier, right?
Can
Yeah.
April raise her hand so
Oh,
I see her? I
I
see
got
her.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for
April.
meeting me. And it's nice to virtually meet you all. I'm the project manager planner that's assigned to this. So the reason they are still like basically in process of right now getting accepted for their minor use permit and their coastal development permit. So I'm trying to remember the name, Julie. Julie, you are right. They do still need to check those little boxes, but like you said, it's an easy thing of just knowing that, okay, they go to emission disposal. So we're working on getting their package completely filled out and complete. They're still technically on information hold right now. So there's information that's still coming in, such as a revision of their plans and their project description. So we're eager tonight to hear everybody's feedback so we can get them on the right path to make sure that they're getting the correct permit and process along. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, April. I see Jennifer, there's a Jennifer that has her hand up. If you could wait, just, we're doing land use committee members first. And then Patrick, you've got your hand up.
Yes. So April, I just wanted to ask you, did you say a revision of the project?
Not a revision of the project, but we're asking for some updated plans to show what kind of work has already been done and what the proposal is for the future of it, basically just being like what Hope said, like a land to be able to grow pumpkins on.
Okay,
You don't have to do that.
thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or comments from members of the committee?
Oh, I just wanted to say, April, if you come up with something that you'd like, if you just go down to the bottom and to reactions and press raise hand, then we'll see you right away. There's so many people, we have to search for you and also, and it's better than chat. So if you give that a try.
Excellent. Thank you for for letting me know that.
Sure. Sorry, Larry.
Okay, I'm gonna open it up to the public now. And would like to make a comment or ask a question or anything, because there's quite a few people I see. I am going to limit it to 3 minutes, so it doesn't take forever. And so I'm opening it up to members of the public for questions or comments. And I see Jeff Edwards has his hand up. And then Annette Shelley's also got her hand up. See a Heather. So we're going to just start at the top here and work our way down.
Yes, Larry, I'd like to share my screen if I may.
Okay. You should be able to do
Hey.
that.
Leo,
Oh,
Is that visible?
No.
Yeah.
Hi, bro.
Um,
I just lost it all.
Technology. We'll get there.
Want to be in Hawaii.
So Larry, is my screen appearing?
I hear your voice, Jeff. I lost everything here, so
Oh,
on my
okay.
end. So if someone else can answer Jeff's question.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It's not up.
no,
Not
we
up.
can't see you either, and that might be part of your problem.
Problem. Okay, let me try to sign
I mean,
back.
that would be
Yeah.
from Jeff's end.
Um, is it visible now?
Nope, you see your ceiling or wall or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm back on. And I marked it share screen.
Okay, let's try that.
There you
Yeah.
go.
You got
There
it.
you go.
Okay. Okay, very good. Sorry for the delay. As you know, this is part of a code violation. And that's why the coastal development and minor use permit has been requested. This is the applicant's map that's been submitted with their application, prepared by Mr. Siphon. It doesn't have any topographic lines on it. And really, in the field, you can't really tell where the property lines are. Makes it very hard. You heard a little bit about the water. I do believe they get Golden State, and it appears they also have a well. And my question would be, are they using their well for plant irrigation? And perhaps this is a well that needs to be metered, which has been much discussed at the BMC. This is the property. You can see the graded piles. There have been notices of violation issued in both November of last year and May of this year. Any movement of greater than 50 cubic yards requires a grading permit. And if it's anywhere from 1 to 3 acres, it requires a full minor use permit and CDP. The application, the project description includes site restoration, which it doesn't appear they're going to be restoring any native vegetation. They're simply going to be planting pumpkins at some point on the field, which will require more water, of course. In advance of the application and before any grading, they haven't done the required biological or archaeological surveys that are, again, required in advance of any work. Nothing's been done to date. Apparently, the grading was done by a former county employee with the roads department who doesn't have a contractor's license. So there's potential violation of contractor's law. It's, again, hard to determine where the property boundaries are. So there may have been work in the public right-of-way, work done without an encroachment permit. As you may know, there's a 6 foot, over 6'6" fence in the front setback, topped with barbed wire. It's in violation of the coastal zone land use ordinance, and it doesn't look very good, frankly. On the adjacent property, there have been continuous violations using the property for landscape storage and staging. So what we have are really 3 local, state, and federal violations. You heard about the need for a grading permit and possible encroachment permit, the fence, all from the county. We have an unpermitted coastal development permit that the Coastal Commission may be interested in, because this area likely is
That was
not
3 minutes, Jeff.
Thank you. It's not 3,700 square feet. This is likely to be about a third of the site and over 50,000 square feet. So they violated state law and then possibly federal law, stormwater requirements, and there's a need for a stormwater control plan, which has not been provided. So I'll conclude with that. My ask would be that this matter be the continued off calendar. It's the project description's undefined. The application's still in preparation. So I'd continue it off calendar and then reconsider it when it does come back. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Next, I see Annette Shelley. Healy.
We need Jeff to remove his,
Oh, Jeff, do you want to
How's that?
Stop sharing.
There we go.
Can I start?
Yes.
Please.
Okay. I'm Annette Sheely, and as a homeowner in Los Osos, I'm trying to understand how can I prevent being harassed like this? I'm sorry, harassed is a rude word, but I'm just kind of still stunned by the presentation I just saw, because from what my understanding, Hope is cleaning up her property. And it just feels like if I go to clean up my property, am I going to be subject to someone asking me where my water is from and what sewer I have? And this just seems over the line if she's cleaning up. That's it. I'm done. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Annette. Anyone else? Comments, questions, or anything?
Jennifer has her hand up.
I see a gentleman, blue fan.
Well,
Oh,
I think if we were to go in order, Jennifer was first, but we
Okay.
have April is back, the project manager. Maybe she has something to say about what Jeff has just said.
okay. If you see her name, please.
Yeah, she's up now. Hi.
Thank you for unmuting me again. I didn't know if I should stay on with my computer beeping all over the place. I just want to reiterate the fact that their application still has yet to officially be accepted, and we're still working on things like our environmental review, which will cover if they do indeed need the biology report or not. There has been archaeology reports done around the entire area that had no positive findings. So that's one thing that we do consider when we're accepting projects for minor use permits and coastal development permits. So everything is still very much in the process right now. Thank you.
Thank you, April.
Yeah.
Okay, shall we go to Jennifer?
yes.
Jennifer, you can unmute. Perfect.
Okay, I have a question.
Jennifer, it looks like your feed isn't working well because we're not hearing you.
I said, is Julie Tacker on the board and what is her role?
He is a public member on the land use committee.
Okay, I find that her sharing the space with Jeff Edwards is a conflict of interest. First of all. Second of all, I've been a neighbor of Losas Valley Nursery since 1976. They've had horses on that property. They've had snow peas on that property. As far as I know, it's been agriculture, it's been mixed use, it's been everything. And they've never had any endangered species found on that property. It's been used primarily for agriculture throughout its life. So again, I have to kind of reiterate what that other woman said, that I feel that Hope is being harassed. And I feel that they're trying to be good land. They're trying to keep erosion from happening on their land. They're trying to keep their land from eroding to other areas on the site. Their fence is exactly where their fence was before. It's been there since I've known them in 1976. So again, I have to state that there's got to be some kind of grandfather clause or whatever is in there, that because they have historically managed their property. And I think all the people that live around their nursery have not issued one complaint about the dirt being moved or the way that they're running their nursery. And the only complaint they have received is from Jeff Edwards. So I just wanted to point that out, that if this was something that was in complete violation and people were really worried about what was happening on that land, there would be a lot more people speaking up against this project or whatever they're trying to do on their land. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Larry, I saw when she mentioned something that Hope was nodding her head. Can we just hear why Hope was nodding her head, please? Hope, I'm sorry, April. Something about grandfathering, and you were,
The property is indeed grandfathered in. They bought the property, I think, I know it was early 1970s, but it was before the enaction of the Coastal Act. So that's their fence line. Probably, it could be non-conforming. I'm not 100% sure. But a lot of the things that are happening there are indeed because they were grandfathered in.
Okay, thank you for that clarification, April.
Yeah.
Next we have Heather, or who's ever keeping
Yes,
track.
Heather, you can unmute. Thank you.
Hi, we're my husband Justin and Heather Wiebe. We're neighbors with Hope and Tish, and we are in full support of what they're doing, cleaning up their piece of property. It is ag land, and we feel that they should be able to do what they're doing on their land.
100% support.
Thank you for that. Who's next?
Phone Debbie. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Deborah Howe is next.
Hi, good evening. I am not a member of this committee. However, I am on the council, and Hope's property happens to be in my district, District 4. I did take the time on Sunday to go down and look at the project. It was very interesting to see the pictures that Jeff Edwards presented of the before. I've seen I've seen what it looks like now. And what I would say, and what was confirmed when I spoke to Hope, is that the existing trash and organics that were there created a problem for pests, rats, and so forth, and also something of a fire danger. And it simply made common sense to me that someone would clean up their property and in the process recycle the organic material back into the land and improve it. So I don't see why there would be an objection to this project. Certainly I wouldn't and do not have an objection to this project. And clearly her neighbors are supporting this project. So that's my comment.
Thank you, Deborah. Who's next?
Phone Debbie.
Hi, yes, again, I guess you could say I'm a second generation native here. My mom was born here on the Los Osos Valley in 1930. I've known Hope and been in the farming and ranching community and business. That's what my family did here in the area. And I've never seen her. She works with the community. She works for the community. She's there for the community. And, we're reaching a point where you can no longer have a piece of property and work on it without somebody thinking they have the right to assume that they can stop things. And this is, it's really sad when you see how much she's given to the community and where she's been and how upfront she's been with it and what's going on. And it's really tragic when we allow this to happen. You know, she's just trying to clean up the property. And when I grew up here, not trying to necessarily do that, but people took pride in their homes and their property and they cleaned it up. And when you have somebody here in the area that's willing to do that, and these roadblocks are being thrown in the way, it's just a shame, because I go down 7th Street in places where I grew up, and it's starting to look like Bakersfield or the Valley. And I can only commend her for being willing to clean a space up like that. And that's how I feel.
Thank you, Debbie, for your comments. Can we go to the next?
Next, we have Emily Miggins.
Hi there, everyone. I just wanted to say quickly that I thank Hope very much for doing the cleanup. I walked the land with her last year. I want to say as the representative for Los Osos, I sit on the board of the Fire Safe Council for the county. And I'm very impressed that she's getting rid of dry biomass materials. I've even discussed her project in an official Fire Safe Council report, post doing chipping in Cabrillo Heights last year and on Highland. She's a good steward of the land and she's a great neighbor. She is in fact reducing fire hazard, and she is working hard at it as well. If she's not applying water and actually, increasing soil moisture, which is the point of Ugo culture, it's wonderful. There are other community members, citizens of Los Osos, also doing Ugo culture on their property. So if we follow the logic model, you would need to make everyone comply with the same thing that's being complained about on this discussion. So kind of a hard thing to do in Los Osos, but why we would treat Hope separately, I from everyone else, I don't know. Again, as a board member of Fire Safe Council and watching her project over the last year, I think it's great. Thank you.
Okay, and next we have Dave.
Okay. Yes, my name is Dave Doust, and I'm a member of the community in Los Osos, and I've known Hope for over 20 years. And I think the methods that they are using are biologically safe from a layman's view anyways. As an artist, they're trying to make the place aesthetically pleasing. As far as the fence not being to anyone's aesthetic enjoyment, it certainly keeps people from stealing things like they used to do. They used to cut holes in the fence and climb over it, and that presents, other than just criminal damage, there is a fire hazard there as well, having people on your property that aren't employees. I know some people like to use goats and horses on their property first to take care of biological problems like snails, but Hope hasn't done that. I think she's very cautious and very kind and a superb member of our community, and I support them wholeheartedly. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
And next is Tom Cross. Tom, you can unmute yourself, please.
Hello, I just want to echo all the support this project seems to be getting and point out that this is probably the biggest turnout I've ever seen for a LOCAC land use committee meeting. And I just wanted that on record when the committee is considering this. Thank you very much.
And then we have Becky McFarland. Becky, you can unmute yourself, please.
How about now?
Got it.
Yes.
Okay. I met Hope and her mother and her father 39 years ago. And I so appreciate all they do for the community. I really appreciate that they're cleaning things up. And thank you for the neighbor who gave us more background as to what the land was used for. During the presentation, I couldn't have come to mind another grading issue here in Los Osos, where all of the soil or much of the soil from the end of South Bay Boulevard was moved down Highland Avenue and put at the end. And my mom actually looked into it and there was no grading permit. And it's stacked up behind people's fences. And my mom asked, why is that? And the planning commission people said, well, yeah, that does seem odd, doesn't it? So there's been huge amounts of soil moved by certain people in this town with no grading permits. And this one's not even bringing in anything new. So I support Hope and her mom and this project, and thank you.
And now we have Alex Van Nuys.
Good evening. I'm a member of the Los Osos community, and I've been a customer of Los Osos Valley Nursery for almost 30 years now. And I echo the support that other people are giving for Hope's project. And I just want to point out that Los Osos Valley Nursery is really a gem for this community. Privately owned nurseries are a resource that are disappearing. And pretty soon, all we're going to have are the garden centers in big box stores that just stock water-hungry plants that aren't suited to our Los Osos environment. So I really commend what Hope has been doing. And basically, I hope that we can keep Los Osos Valley Nursery as a going concern in our community. Thank you.
Okay. I want to thank everybody for the comments. I'm not seeing anybody else raising their hand, or anyone else want to say anything?
Oh, our IMBHS Blue fan would like to speak, Larry.
Okay.
I've asked him to unmute.
Okay, and I see a Maddie Zoli also.
Okay, you're up. IMB, oh, whoever, sorry.
I don't know why I signed in that way. I guess because I'm a Morro Bay grandma. My name is Dietrich, and I am not a long timer. I come to this process trying to learn, but I moved here 7 years ago, and one of the things that made me fall in love with Los Osos was that nursery. She helped plant my yard. She told me water safe thing, how we're conserving water. She educated me so much about the water issues and what goes on in Los Osos. I was also an SAB volunteer, and Hope constantly supported every time we knocked on that nursery door for donations. So I don't know what all the agendas are, and I don't understand the politics, and I don't get that. But I think the one thing I wanted to say is that when I have out of town guests from Las Vegas, usually from where I moved, I take them to that nursery as a reflection of what this community looks like and how this community cares for its own. So again, a newbie who doesn't understand the process very well, I don't even know what this is about, but I know what I see with my eyes, and I know what I hear with my ears, and I know what I feel with my heart. A beautiful, beautiful addition to this community. So that's all I wanted to say.
Okay, Maddie. Maddie, can you unmute? No?
So both Robin and I are trying to ask her to unmute, but Is there, Maddie, is there a little something on your screen that pops up for you to push that unmute yourself? I think you have to participate in this.
Okay, well, maybe we'll come back to Maddie or get a comment from them later. I think we're trying everything on our end to get them to unmute. Hope you can hear us. Okay. Anyone see anyone else with comments or anything else from the public? So bringing it back to the board now, any board members would like to make, oh, I see Patrick.
Yes, thank you. Well, I just want to commend the community for being here. This is the best turnout I have ever seen on any actually LOCAC committee meeting or LOCAC meeting itself. And the support that the community has given is overwhelming. We are here to represent the community. And I have been here quite a while myself, and I do a lot of shopping and have at Hope's Nursery. It has always been an immaculate place and a good place to go. I do support this project with conditions, and we can talk about that when we're ready to make a motion.
Okay. I did see Maddie come back in. I don't know if her hand's back up.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Well,
Okay.
let's see.
Julie, I see you've got your hand up. You've got a comment.
Yeah, I just, as a committee member, and I've been a long time community member too, and I know the Lindsay family and knew the family that lived on that property before them. But this, I'm confused by the outpouring of support as if someone doesn't support the project. I think the concern here is that a lot of work was done without permits. And I find the support and the longtime family and the love for the family and the nursery quite similar. And there were a lot of people participating a few years ago, Patrick. Remember when Bill Lee was finally going after some permits? There was a lot of support for Bill. There was some opposition for Bill's projects. What's our job is to look at the permit, look at the process, and shape the project. And I'm curious what your conditions or recommendations are, Patrick. I have some ideas of my own, but really just following the rules. And, you know, some people don't know they need a permit, and the county stops them and says, you have to go through the permit process. And that's where we are right now. I don't think anyone there's no personal jabs at anybody here. And there shouldn't be. This is about the process, the law, and getting a permit to do the things you want to do is the natural course of you know, land use law in California and San Luis Obispo County. So shaping the project, you know, I was disappointed to see the vegetation removed from the front of the property, which was some of it, you know, wasn't native and wasn't healthy, but it did screen what was the debris that they're trying to clean up. And so, you know, we didn't see that before. And now there's this big kind of repurposed asphalt parking lot that is in front. And, you know, that of course would have needed a permit. And if it's in the road right of way, then that's not okay. So, you know, I don't think there's harassment going on. I think it's just about following the rules, and that's what our committee is here to do, is show you know, make recommendations as the permit goes through. So those are my comments for now. I am curious about Patrick's conditions. I might have comment again.
Okay, I see Sue and Deborah Howe, and then Hope, I see your hand up too.
Yeah, I have no problem supporting this project. I think April made it very clear, their project manager, that they're in the very beginning stages of this. She said either a biological or archaeological study has already been done. I don't remember which one it was, and the fence is part of a grandfathering for something else. I think they have a long way to go and a lot of work to do. And I have every confidence they'll work out with the county whatever they need to work out. So that's all I had to say. And I believe this is a time for committee members to speak. Yes, Larry, we're not entertaining public at this point.
Okay. And then Deborah, you've got your hand up.
Are we entertaining the public then, Larry?
No, public thing is closed now.
Okay, because
Julie-
Deborah's not on the committee, so.
Oh. Okay. Deborah, I'm sorry, we kind of closed talk to the public. Sorry on that. I just like to make the comment that the accusations that have been brought against this project are of an arbitrary nature, whether the fence looks nice or doesn't look nice, whether the pile of garbage there looks nice or doesn't look nice. I think a lot of it is again arbitrary, you know, one's own personal matter. Yes, are maybe permits needed? Did Hope go to the county first when she started this project? Yes, she did.
No, she didn't.
You know,
No, I'm afraid she didn't.
Julie.
I'm sorry, Larry. There's a notice of violation from code enforcement on the property.
You know what? And county's going to figure it out.
Right. So she didn't go to the county first.
Can I speak to that?
Okay, Hope, go ahead. If you're,
I went into the county and I asked them, went to the little desk, and the girl gave me a piece of paper and she said, you don't meet the criteria. And so I left. Like, yes, I did go in, I did ask. And, and they said no. So I was shocked when code enforcement said, oh, we have a thing for you. I had gone in and asked. And they said, well, you don't meet the criteria, and therefore you don't need a permit. So.
Okay.
Can I have a question for April. April, can you unmute? Thanks.
I turned off my camera.
Yeah, that's fine. Because this nursery is in the coastal appealable zone, does that have any play into why they required a minor use permit?
It would, because it's also coastal commission gets notified of the project too. So then they have an opportunity to give their feedback. We haven't heard anything from them yet, but at the same time that we sent out the referrals to you all, it also got sent to coastal commission. So they should be aware of it because they got the same information everyone else did.
I'm just curious because I know certain permits that would be ministerial would be over the counter unless you're in the coastal appealable zone. So it seems like that has added another layer of scrutiny to this process.
It certainly has. And another reason why I triggered the permit is because of the grading, the amount of space that is actually being moved around is what triggered the permit. I am not too sure what that exact number is, but that's part of the reason why it requires a minor use permit. So when Hope first went to the counter, like to ask about that, the person at the front desk might have, not have mentioned, by the way, if you do more than X amount of yards of grading, it is going to require a minor use permit.
Okay.
So that's what I could see maybe of happening there. And sorry, my light. Not good at Zoom.
Good either.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
Robin, was that your question?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
great answer.
to finish with mine is she's now going through the process of getting all these permits that may or not be needed. That's why April's there to help her go through this. So she's doing everything right. And she's jumping through all the hoops, you know? She's not cutting corners. She's not doing things illegally under the table, behind screens, you know? I support this project 110%. I think she's doing everything right. She should have the full support of the community. If there are issues, we know she's going to correct them. She's not like some of the developers we've had that do things and don't get permits till later.
Okay, so
And it's only when they're forced. But anyway, that's my comment on this project. I think it's an excellent project.
okay, and we have Lindy Owen. Hi, Lindy, can you unmute?
Sorry, and I can't get my camera to work, but anyway, I've been listening to the wide range of comments, and I want to say that I love the nursery. Hope and Trish and their dad have been part of my family in so many ways when I go look for plants at a wonderful place. But I think what's coming up is that this is very preliminary, and we're making a lot of emotional support for something that needs to be more defined. And I'm sorry that it came to us maybe not as defined as it should have been. So the issue is, I don't know exactly what the end cause of this project is. You have to get permits for grading, and it is important what you take out that is native. So let's let this go the next series of routes that it needs to go and deal with its code permit issues and continue supporting it 100%. I think it's a grand project improvement, but it does have to meet the county standards, and as a community we can support. So thank you.
And Larry, we have Patrick.
Okay.
Would it be time to make a motion?
Sure.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve this project, that we support it. Larry, you'll have to make a decision on conflict of interest that somebody brought up. As a chairperson, that would be your responsibility. But I would like to support this project with the conditions. It has a lot to go through before it gets to its final stages. It hasn't done its biological report yet or anything else. So the condition is that if nothing changes for this project, and if they pass with the county all of the reports that they need to do, I'd like to have it continued on. And I do support this project. I think we all should vote on it.
I would like to send this on the consent agenda to LOCAC. If I could add that into your.
That would be fine. As far as that would be part of my motion, that it goes to the consent agenda. And again, you'd have to make a decision on conflict of interest.
Yeah, I will say there was public comment, there's comment on it, and that's enough. I'm not going to judge whether there's conflict of interest or not. I don't think that's important on this project either way. So all those in.
Julie does have her hand up.
Go ahead, Julie.
Larry, can I suggest just one condition of approval based on, sort of the fundamental conversations we've had many years about water? This property has a well, and can we ask through a condition from the county that it be metered? That's one of the goals that we've been set for a long time.
That has nothing to do with this project.
But it's the property. That's what having a permit. This is our hook. to get the
Okay.
information that we need. And,
Okay,
you know, I thought that that was a goal of land use in LoCac. So if it's
Okay.
not, then of course you're gonna
that's,
vote it
that's
through
fine.
without. that.
I disagree with you. I don't want it on the project, on the.
Larry, our applicant has something to say. Hope, do you want to be unmuted?
She's muted. You're muted, Hope.
Can you unmute yourself?
There you go.
I'm just gonna hold. I'm not gonna say anything, but I,
Okay. Sorry. Okay, can someone read the motion that we have on, so I know whether to, what I'm seconding?
The motion is to put this project on the consent agenda for LoCac, with the condition that it meets all the county requirements for grading, because that's what all this project is about, is grading and cleaning up their property. So that's the motion to approve the motion.
We need a second.
I'll second.
We
Okay.
well, before Lindy Owen has her hand up.
Okay, Lindy?
Can you hear me?
yes.
Yeah,
Okay, I just wanted to say, from what I understood, this is very, very, very preliminary. Are we actually voting on a project that we don't have enough information on tonight? I believe it probably needs to continue on to the next meeting where we do have more information. I don't know. I don't know it well enough to say, but in my sense, we're not anywhere close to approving a permit that we don't have enough information on. That's all.
Lindy, there is enough information. If you've read the packet and gone through it all, the county has their long list of things that it needs to qualify for, and they're making sure those are met. And so I believe it's at the point, and we do have enough information to fully support this project.
Well, I don't have enough information personally.
Okay.
It feels incomplete.
Okay, and that's, you're right to your opinion.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Could we ask April to maybe clarify that, Larry? Is that possible? And maybe she could
If she
support
has
to Lindy that their project's not going to change really. Is that possible? Could we ask her, or would you rather just go forward?
And Lindy, I don't know if you've been out there, but I've been out there. The project is almost complete. They just want to move some dirt around to bring it back to grade level. You know, it got stopped in transition, but the project is almost done, if I'm not mistaken. There is one pile of garbage there, you know, and most of the wood has been, you know, or biomaterial has been put back into the earth, and they just got to bring it back to grade level, put it back where it started, you know, so that holding this project up it's almost done, you know, and it should be able to finish.
And there is no water use for the project.
No water use whatsoever.
Exactly. So
Isn't there any dust control? No, the dust just flies?
That's part of the conditions that we'll be issuing them.
Right,
is
so
to be
then
able
water
to
is going to
control
be used. And then, you know, when the biology report comes back as part of the site restoration, we want to see that. That's the whole point of info hold and approving a project without the details that the county's asking for. You won't have another chance to look at the project and help shape it to, you know, meet the needs of the environment or the desires of the community. So there will be dust control water used.
there's dust control on all the projects that are up in the Cabrillo Estates that are getting built. There's dust control.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
there's water
exactly.
in use, and that's
Okay, that's
considered.
and that's understood as part of what the whole process of that is, but the project itself.
Well, I'm kind of curious about, growing pumpkins in the future. Does that take water?
That's not part of the project.
It is part of the future.
Well, the future then will come.
Well, that's what she's talking about, wanting to do this for.
That
So-
was an example,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
necessarily the actual intent of what the future projects will be. That's why we're asking for a complete project description of what their
And,
future plans
and
are.
April, that is exactly why I think Lindy has trepidation. I have trepidation. Mr.
So I'll
Edwards-
tell you what, I will not grow any pumpkins. How is that? I will
Well,
not grow any pumpkins as part of this. I won't grow anything over there. We'll leave it as it is. There's not going to be any water use, Julie.
Oh,
But I do
okay.
find it weird if you're the person complaining
I'm
and
not
you're saying you're on the
complaining.
committee. No, wait, let me talk. That you are the person, everybody else that says this is okay, including the county, who told me that except for the fact that you keep complaining that I don't get to get a permit. So
I'm
I
not
don't understand. I don't understand this at all.
I'm
I
not
don't.
complaining.
Yes.
And I would like to see the answers to the info hold letter. So I'll vote no to the motion until I see the info hold letter. Or the answers to the questions in the info hold letter. So that is the reason I'm voting no, not any other reason, Hope.
Not about the water.
Not about.
It is about water.
Okay, so the motion fails because we have, part of the motion is that it goes to the consent agenda, and we need a complete consensus on doing that, and we don't have that. So I'd like to reword the motion as it was, but without the consent agenda, and just have it go to the LOCAC agenda. And
I'll second it.
move forward. Okay.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 No.
One opposed.
I'm a no also right now.
That's two opposed. Four in favor. Motion passes and it'll be sent on to LOCAC. Okay, so I want to
Very much.
thank everyone for this. It
Good night.
took into a long time and stuff. We are going to be discussing a modification to a letter that LOCAC has to do. Hope, so you know, the last Thursday of the month, we'll be sending you the information, but at the LOCAC meeting, we'll be bringing your project up again. And for those that were supporting Hope and the project and stuff, again, the last Thursday of the month.
It's
7 o'clock,
August 25th, Larry.
August 25th. It'll be on the LOCAC website. Hope, you personally and Roy will get, the information. We'll email it to you. Just so you understand that's how the process works.
You're on mute, Hope, but we can understand what you're saying. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And April, thank you for.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, April.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So anyway, moving on to the next project, or the next thing on the agenda. There a discussion on the statement of intent, the LOCAC letter of not supporting projects that consume water. Anyone want to make a comment on that? Or I put my suggestion in here,
Can you give us a little backstory, Larry? Why is there a need to change the letter? I'm sorry, I missed the last meeting and didn't hear any pre-conversation about this. Why? What's the?
So there's a question that came up of voting to support the letter on each project, and some people didn't feel it was right that they had to be forced to support a letter that they might not agree with, or
I'm good with that.
that what?
I'm good with that. I don't want to be forced to support a letter I don't agree with.
Yeah, but in our bylaws, it says any motion made by the committee, a committee, you know, the whole, that all the members need to support the decision.
Right, and I disagree with that bylaw.
Well, the bylaws need to get changed then, which we will be working on hopefully coming up. And Larry, I would say, you know, just right off the hand right now is that we should probably move this forward onto maybe the next agenda. The LOCAC is going to be meeting, I am assuming, I can't really say for sure right now, but maybe in a closed session to discuss this amongst themselves. And once we come up to some kind of a decision on how we should approach this, then I think maybe we could bring it back to the land use here. But you know,
that's perfectly fine with me. So that this next thing on our agenda here will be postponed until we get some guidance and stuff from the actual LOCAC committee. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you for that.
I support that.
Okay. Robin, you in agreement?
Sure.
You know, and then Julie and Lindy, you too, you know, find out more about this maybe. Lindy, is your hand up from before?
No, she just raised it.
Okay.
No, I just put it up.
Okay.
I kind of, no, I think we need a heart-to-heart discussion about this letter. The board has changed in many ways, so it needs to come back before all of us, I think. So I support that we revisit, but I support the letter. I'm sorry, I don't understand how we can live with a condition in the space and that requires us to be careful and then support new housing right now. That's our job to the community.
Okay.
So anyway,
Thank you,
that's my
Lindy.
thoughts.
Thanks for the input.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
So with all that, I'm gonna.
Larry, should you take Tom Cross's comment just to have public comment if you know, it
Okay.
was on the agenda?
Yes. Yeah, Tom?
Yes, I can unmute. Just regarding the letter and the letter previously in the background regarding all this, the letter itself is fine. If this committee does end up wanting to change that part, the only thing I would want to change would be this LOCAC will withheld to land use. Well, the land use committee will withheld because our bylaws say that committee decisions are not binding to LOCAC as a whole. So just wanted to say that.
Okay, good. Thank you, Tom.
The full LOCAC did approve the letter overwhelmingly.
Larry, Dave and Bev? have
Yeah,
public
yeah.
comment?
Go ahead, Dave and Bev.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Dave Bolus. I'm one of the people who brought this up, this requirement that's in the bylaws. And, you know, it's been my contention that if people signed up to be on the council or on a committee, that they agreed to that. So that's where I stand. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that.
Oh, can I talk? I can't find my arms, so hand.
Go
sorry.
ahead, Sue.
I just want, thanks. Wanted to answer to Tom that the letter was overwhelmingly supported by LOCAC. It's a LOCAC letter. It's not a land use letter. So it's causing some repercussions right now that we're trying to work out. And as Patrick has said, you guys are going to meet and talk about it. So I think that we'll just wait, like Patrick suggested, hear what LOCAC ends up talking about, and then we can move forward from there. Thank you.
Okay,
So can we adjourn?
yes, so
Hey.
meeting.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Good night.
Are we adjourned, Larry?
Yes.
Thank you.
Officially.
Good night, everyone.
Good night,
Good night.
everyone. Everyone's had a
Bye.
chance to talk, so.
Bye-bye.
Bye.